Back to another trade recap. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. We ended up coming out positive on the day. We had this major sell-off down into this 15-minute fair value gap. We also took 15-minute liquidity here. We didn't quite take the bottom. A couple more spots that I was hoping to see us take. You can see that right here, we blew past this 15-minute fair value gap on the 1-minute chart. But if you look at the 15-minute, it bounces off of it almost perfectly while taking that 15-minute liquidity. So if we get rid of this, just to clean things up, really we're basing this trade off of the fact that we came down, took out this 1-minute liquidity, but we can't really see that we are bouncing, at least yet, right? So when we first take this out, we did bounce, yes. Where you can see I got in on was we came up, we hadn't quite inversed anything, so I think that's probably where I could have waited. So if we would have came up and inversed here, this fair value gap, we would have waited till we inversed this and then got the retrace and then got in on a continuation. That would have been the better entry, and I didn't take this re-entry trade. The continuation would have been up above this break, so when this candle closed here, this is where we could have got in on, and then stops right below that, and then we could have obviously targeted whatever the rest of it was. So that was the first trade. It was basically just a break-even trade. The bias was right, just the entry and the trailing was a little off. We could have sold and got a little above a 1.1. See, I think we were risking it right around 250, and we got as high as about 365. So we could have got like 1.5. Almost 2.0, but we just didn't sell. I was looking to see these highs right here at least get taken out before I even considered selling. So when we ended up taking up and inversing this, I thought that we were just going to go up and blow up and go through these highs, but it retraced one more time before I actually got up and went higher. To go to the second trade, we came up, we bounced off this 15-minute. I wanted shorts right off of this inverse and this breaking structure here, but I didn't enter. I wanted to see a retrace, but this ended up being the breakaway fair value gap. But we came down. This is clear displacement, right? So I was just looking for a retrace before potentially us going to be able to head lower. So that was kind of the bias going into that. So what happened was we came down, major displacement, we came up, we retraced into this fair value gap, which was also a BPR because we inversed here. So we came up, we retraced, we also bounced off of this 5-minute fair value gap. And then when we got the retracement or the continuation candle, which was the close here, we entered in. Stops were right above the high of the continuation. I think I was in for about 220, which would be about 42, 43 ticks. And we ended up selling for about 350, so about 75, almost 80 ticks. So really good trade. Like I said, we ended up taking this first one. This would have been TP1, this would have been TP2, and then TP3 was this 5-minute fair value gap. So I think that if we would have held and got to that, would have been an even better trade. But overall, this was probably about a 1.5 risk to reward, which is still good. That about wraps up this trade recap. I'll go ahead and catch you guys in the next one.
I got a switch in my head. I go from living to dead. You got me seeing all red. Now I'm becoming a threat. I fucking heard what you said. I'll make you have some regrets. And no, I never forget. So now you have a few debts. That shit, it needs to be paid with blood or some sort of pain. You caused a permanent stain, which has determined your fate. I've never